أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Alright, let's begin. Let us begin. Obviously gonna start with bio. Okay, let's just whatever. Interesting. Okay. How high concentration of hydrogen ions is maintained in the intermembranous space? How high concentration of hydrogen ions is maintained in the intermembranous space? Remember, this is 7A, so we're going to be talking about that stuff. It's been a while since I studied this. High concentration of H plus ion. So we don't need to write about this. one reason for the rapid oxygen uptake by bacteria in a medium containing lactic acid. Give an explanation for your answer. What's carrier B? Is it acetyl CoA? No, that's something else. Oh, it's FADH. Or is it? Or isn't that carrier A? FADH. Then what is structure X? Is that hidden behind somewhere? NADH, FADH. It's a specific name. Ah, okay. But it doesn't say give us the name. It says describe the role. And all of these have the same-ish role, don't they? I don't know if this is true, but it says hydrogen acceptor. guessing this is structure X over here. So, um, oh, there you go. Cytochrome oxidase. That's the one. Yeah. Mm, not sure. Carbon dioxide. Uh, It's carbon dioxide is produced in the Krebs cycle? Yeah. But what am I listening to? This is sick. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm ready. One sec. Da-da-da. Do-do-do. I'm crying. I'm above it all. Do-do-do-do-do. The idle mind is the devil's playground. Someone has written a chat message and I have not read it yet. Is it gonna be a Z? Is it gonna be or no one has typed anything? I'm confused. Thought. Okay, I guess not. Why does it say? Okay. Literally says 8 minutes. Someone was watching. Who was watching? Creepy. Anyways. I'll give something to you. why I call it a breast pocket. Interesting. Breast pockets. 4,099 hours. Uh-huh. I see. Crime is the way I talk to you. I think it's acetylcholine. Is that acetylcholine? I know it's like something and it binds, it reacts with something, and then after it gets produced, you have two products. You have one thing which is this, and then you have your actual thing. And I'm pretty sure that thing is acetyl-CoA. Acetyl-CoA might also be the reactant produced from the link reaction. Acetyl-CoA and honestly, acetyl-CoA is probably the thing from the link reaction. Link reaction also might be producing CO2. What is there in the link reaction? forgot a lot. I forgot a lot. So it's okay. Okay, cool. Guides produce carbon dioxide through aerobic respiration, specifically during the Krebs cycle, via decarboxylation of acetylcholine. Cool. Krebs cycle and chemiosmosis take place in the mitochondria. Explain how chemiosmosis and the production of ATP will be effective. Krebs cycle is inhibited. Okay, so I mean, what do we mean by Krebs cycle is inhibited? 5 marks. Krebs cycle, chemiosmosis and the production. Okay, specifically they said chemiosmosis and the production of ATP. So we're looking at the Krebs cycle being inhibited, which is the last step before ETC. Okay, so what is produced from Krebs cycle, and how is that going to be affecting ETC? So from what I remember, Krebs cycle produces the most amount of NADH things, right? So Krebs cycle is inhibited. Alright, let's mark these 2 pages and then let's go. So I got a lot wrong. Man, I'm kind of lazy, dude. Kind kind of lazy. I'm kind of lazy.
Oh wait, I'm not streaming. What the fuck? Hello. Oh my god. Wait, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
My headphones do the fucking funny. I hate it. Yeah, the thing he just said here, very important. Like, value groups are always like sort of are like.
That's an ocean.
It's, I would say land masses, but like ocean is also fine. And then you have like
Oh yeah.
rivers
Okay.
and lakes in those land masses, and demonstrate that sort of thing. This cat study right here. When I originally made this study, I sort of had this part as the light part. You just plug that in as like. Ugh. These parts with the light. And all of the cat and all of the thing here is sort of shadow. Unless this part was a little weird, but like I was basically watching all these as a shadow shape, even though the light is in, even though the cat has light values on it, or like is hit by light. It's more useful to think of the cat completely as dark, as dark value.
Isn't it easier then to separation just turn the layer on monochrome?
Probably it doesn't really matter. For me, it's personal to put it in any specific way. So like when separating, for me to have good values, you gotta like understand how to separate your subject into light and dark, even if that means sometimes putting something that's in the light still in the dark, because relatively speaking, this spot and this spot are very different. Of course, this spot is lighter, is around this same light source as this, but like overwhelming majority of this cat is basically in the dark. So it makes more sense to start it out in the dark and then just have like a little spot that you like put it into the light. But that you also do later. So just if you're gonna break it down like this, always try to think not just of what is in the light, what is in the dark, but also try to think of what is the like local value of the subject I'm painting. Good example for.
I see.
So I have like for colors I have not structured this at all. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's my bunk bed post.
Also, like for color, very important topic is color relativity. This sort of back here is not red, like on 90% of the surface. Like here's a little bit of red, here's a little bit of red, here's a little bit of red. But even as a whole, like you would still read it this as red because it's in a very blue environment. And how that works. always like sort of take into account the relative value. No, not the relative color of your scene. Like in this case right here, you have like a very nighttime scene with like, and even you have green grass here, but the green grass is barely green. It's just very desaturated, and you have like very dark but saturated blue, and in that sort of environment, this red would barely go to red. Like, if you wanted, you could probably even turn it down even more. It would still work. Also, it would shine on like. Man. I'm so nervous that so many people listen to me. Okay.
No, I'm judging you so hard, dude. Just now, keep going.
Fuck.
Just
Yeah.
just imagine that someone is throwing a gun to your head, and you make a mistake, and shoot.
Okay, that's awesome. Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, that already
Nice
calmed me
one.
down. Okay, so like, oh yeah, the thing with the, man, I didn't start with that. My apologies. Okay, so if you have established your like values like this, like the big value masses, you can start like, oh yeah, how this relates to color, Jesus. All this shit has to relate to colors. Let me this should be more. Man. It's way easier to teach in my head. How do I approach it?
Honestly, like I understand the problem as well. It's because like, you know, sometimes you just enter a flow state and everything just kind of makes sense in your head.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense because I've like studied all of this
Yeah,
shit already.
yeah.
It's just actually interesting to see what I got wrong. Anyways, yeah, the thing he talked about with the rivers, lakes, and the oceans. Like, if you have like your oceans established like this, like, make sure to have the colors. Like, here is like, this is hit by sunshine, so it's like sort of in the yellowish region. So your color here should also be somewhat in the yellowish region. Like, it doesn't have to be like, you can also go way saturated or way less saturated, like whatever suits your taste in color, I guess.
Man, this cat like looks like he's like sitting down, like thinking really hard. Sorry. Sorry.
I am. So yeah, if you have those established, those are basically like, you will not go out of this region of the blues if you paint anything in the shadows, or not anything in the shadows. Like here, you're gonna hit the light spots because this cat is still in the light. But even then, you can be more relative with it, and
For shadows, I just choose like the 240 blue most of the time.
it's fine because it's like sort of the sky blue, and it makes sense if you have like an outside scenario. But it will always be different from scene to scene. That's sort of like the difficult part about it. That's the reason why you always sort of need reference, because like, no matter how formulaic something is, or how often something is the case. If that makes sense, fucking hell.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, it's just relative.
Do you start with any line art, or do you just go in with shapes?
I used to start with a lot of line art, but nowadays I'm just go in with
Yeah, that's awesome.
like
Dang.
light shapes, dark shapes, and then just all the in
Wow.
between and
Yeah,
highlights.
that's sweet.
That's all I basically do.
Mhm.
But yeah, wait,
Honestly,
Maybe we should have structured that.
no,
better, so-
it's fine, dude. Like one thing that helped me a lot with colors, there was this one video by forgot, but it was like color relativity. That was basically it, and it was just like
Yeah, Makabuchi probably, right?
no, it was the other guy, the guy who like used to work at Disney and left. That guy, if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, the lighting mentor.
Yeah, there you go. So he has one video which was really good. Essentially, it was just like just thinking about everything in terms of just like how warm and cold it is, made it really easy or made it a lot more simpler for me. Cause like, dude, the thing is, majority of the painting is gonna be in the gray, and if you're able to like use use that properly, then I feel like majority of the painting is gonna look pretty good. Like majority of it. If you're able to like make the brightest colors look like the brightest, like have that proper contrast as well, that's also a really big factor. Because a lot of the grays, they can just be mixed into one big value patch, so it doesn't really matter like how detailed you make that big thing. Like first of all, the separation needs to be right. Second of all, like the contrast between those two shapes, like the between the two like value shapes that you make, that needs to be perfect. And then comes color, but that's so like far into the process. I mean, if you're done with those first two steps, the painting is already gonna look pretty decent, I would say.
Like this study right here I did today. I was essentially just like, okay, what's like the overall mood of the scene? It's like a very warm
Yep,
day, so
yep.
like I picked a very warm
Mhm.
background color,
Mhm.
and then I thought to myself, okay, what is like sort of the mood of the shadow,
Mhm.
or like what's the overall mood?
Mhm.
There's also like very bluish colors in here,
Mhm.
so like I picked like a bluish color for the shadows.
Yep. Yep.
It didn't really matter for the value right
No,
now.
this is a
But here
really
I
good
wanna-
choice for the shadows. Yeah, really good.
Yeah. And then I started to like sort of get every color I see on the reference basically
Mhm.
closer to what is on the values.
Mhm.
Every fuck.
I mean, do you mean like you're trying to get colors which aren't only just like in terms of like temperature they're right, but also in terms of values they're right? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, essentially first like I did this process to like sort of show like how the colors how you can play around with color more.
Mm-hmm.
It's like essentially just like look what's the warmest, then like look what is contrasting that warm.
Yes.
What is warmest.
I mean, dude, this looks like a temperature study. This first slide, like this looks like what's warm, what's cold. That's what it looks like. What you're doing.
That's a good way of looking at it. Although this part is not as bright.
That's kind of in the
There's just
middle.
like
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I made it. Then I introduced like another bright,
Mm-hmm.
like a bright shape. So
Mhm.
like this part doesn't look as bright anymore
Mhm.
in contrast.
Mhm.
And I made it also a little bit darker because it was way too bright in here.
Yep.
Then I just established this. I didn't. Man, this is like the fucking Alps. I did way too many steps on one layer, and then now I have to show it and sort of detangle the process of how I did it.
I think it's just like after you reach like I feel like when you're done with the basic layout and like
Maybe
I
you
don't.
should just make a study and just show.
I
how
could
everything
never.
works. I think
Whenever I do a
think
study in person, it's like horrible. It turns out so bad.
It might be. It might become horrible.
I believe in
Let me
you.
see.
You got this.
I have to. Let me just paint a rock. I think a rock should not be.
But the thing is, like, I think it's so difficult. I mean, at least for me, to explain how color works because most of the work comes from like just the black and white values. So if you
Yeah.
focus on that, the color comes in really easily. It's really not that hard.
as long as you stay in the same values with the colors.
Exactly.
That's
Dude, you can just
most
mess around with you can just mess around with the colors. It doesn't matter what, like you could do a painting in black and white and then just use a color layer and just paint whatever colors you want on top. It's not gonna look as great. It's not gonna look as great, but it's viable, absolutely.
Oh, well, that's not something I really managed to do.
I mean, how come? It should be possible. Because I mean,
don't know, probably my values are
maybe
off.
that could be one thing. Also, I would say it's quite difficult to like. I think it's a lot easier to identify value than color, So that's what I kind of base it off of. Like, there's two things. If I want the right color, then I base it off of two things: how bright or dark it is, and how warm or cold it is. That's kind of it. So that makes it a lot easier for me to pinpoint. Like, hey, that's the right color. If that makes sense.
I
But
mean, just picking the right color. Like if I were to try to pick the let me first establish the color of the sky.
and also, it's not just like if it's the right color, but also like, is the color like compared to what it's surrounding, is it right? Like, is it too dark compared to what it's next to, or is it like is
Yeah.
the difference just right?
Like relativity
Is super,
very,
yeah,
very,
it's really
yeah.
important.
it's like probably the most important part about like because like if you think about it, everything in art is sort of just relative, and you're just observing, and you
A
have to like
bunch of
sort of
stuff
untangle
smushed
that.
together. Yeah, I see.
You have to sort of untangle that to see what is relative to what. Like this blue is sort of the basis for this painting,
Mm-hmm.
and then this. If I were to try to pick this white, I know it's being shine on by its sun, so like I already know it's like in the yellow areas. It's probably because it's surrounded by a bunch of blue. It's probably very desaturated, not very desaturated, but like it's decently desaturated. And then this already works fine. Like this is the like sort of the light value that this rock has, so you can just theoretically put this down as the first light value. It's like the blocking in value you use for the rock.
Mm.
On top of here, like it gets a little cooler. It goes towards the green. You can just desaturate it and make it cooler even. You only have like a sort of.
But you don't need to do this much this early in the painting. I would say.
Yeah, that's very true. You don't have to do this much. Theoretically, you just need to
Just
block
get it
in the
exactly. Yeah.
block in the shape and block in the shape exactly, especially if it comes to human faces. Human faces is like one of those things that where like measurement is so important to
Yeah.
get right.
Because like you know the face so much, so you can spot any like mistakes like really easily. It's very jarring. Yeah.
It's very easy to spot a mistake in the face.
Like I would say in this spot of the painting, like you want to just almost like close your eyes, just pick any color which is like almost like it resembles what you think it is, and then just place in that shape properly, making sure you know what it's next to is like properly, you know, the contrast is all right, and then you're pretty much fine for the first like, you know, first few steps
Yeah,
of the
because
painting.
I heard to always trust your eyes when you're trying to study something. The color you see is the color you see. Like you really focus at, like it's like color picking. Just color pick.
I think
really focus
I think what you mean is like
someplace.
I mean what I usually do, I agree in the sense where it's like what I usually do when I quote unquote trust my eyes is like I kind of take off my glasses and I kind of just like step away from the screen or make the canvas really small, and if
that
there
only works if you're blind, like you.
yeah, I mean no,
you don't do you just squint. You just squint your eyes.
yeah,
And, like you can.
yeah, if you just tell there's like a problem, then that's gonna be a problem. Like if you can if you can't tell there's a difference, then you're on the right track essentially.
Yeah, you can't tell if there's a difference squinting or open eyes. It's fine if you can see a problem with your open eyes. It might be not a problem at all, or like a problem that will be resolved later.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a problem while squinting, it's definitely a problem. Like it's a good way.
Okay.
And
for
also
the shadows here, because it's an open air scene, gonna definitely go towards the blue, but we're gonna go towards the blue on the warmer side because we can see here it's very warm in those shadows. Like it doesn't get very cold. We can see very warm. So we want to go over the red side, not over the green side, because over the green side it would look weird to pick like a shadow like this and just go like this. The shadow would look weird, but like the shadow, it looks
it looks more rocky essentially.
Yeah, it looks more like what I'm seeing on my reference. It looks more like a
Right now, I think the sky is actually brighter than the rock, which is kind of a problem.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm seeing that this guy here has to be way brighter.
Yeah.
Or, like,
So there's nothing wrong with it getting it wrong the first try. Like like that's what I kind of like about painting, where it's like you can tell like where your relationships are wrong like mid painting, so you can kind of fix them as you go. And
yeah.
yeah, it's like that process
Mhm.
is really enjoyable because it's like, you know, it might not look right the first time, and then you fix one thing and the whole painting just clicks, and like that's the fun part, I would say.
This is way brighter. It's like comically brighter. Better if it was edited. Like, it's like all the way under saturation. Also, when painting, a good measure I usually use is like to avoid like extremes. Like never use entirely saturated color. Never go to the borders of the color
Oh wow,
picker field.
I
That's like
because I do that actually.
I mean, it can work. Like it works for you. Like if you go like with those crazy saturated.
Yeah.
But in in your cases, you like work within this area of the thing most of the time.
Mhm.
You don't really go outside of it. And that's why it works because you have only an area, and within that area you have like a lot of freedom
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
to
true.
move around. That can
Yeah.
work.
Okay.
Just it's always about sort of have you limited yourself. It's something if you limit like have you figured out the values first, and if you have figured out the values, you have an easier time figuring out everything else.
Zitub, if you have any questions, you should probably ask them. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, that would be great.
Oh, me?
Just in general,
Yeah, well, not for now.
that's fine. So now we have sort of established our values, right? Yeah.
Damn.
So our like big masses. Probably this looks weird. Wait, can you glad I don't have to? Okay. Man, now I wish I had painted it on a different layer. That's fine. That's okay.
1:30. I'm gonna have to go in an hour. Damn.
It's fine. I'm definitely gonna be done in an hour. Ooh. That's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We can. Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely looking better now. I mean, comparatively.
This soft edge here.
Yeah, nice.
There's a soft edge here too.
To be honest,
Be
I don't-
honest.
I don't know. I think maybe I'm wrong. I don't really know, cause it's all a blur, from. But like, I think I start off with the darkest values and then I move up. Maybe I'm wrong though. Yeah, I definitely start with I definitely don't start with the lightest values. I start with the darkest values.
I think that always depends on what the image. Like images are always like, is a about the dark or it's about the lighter values. Like an appealing image,
True.
at least to me.
Yeah.
It's always you should start with whatever is like, whatever the painting is about. Like that's why I started this study with the bright, because like if you only paint the bright shapes, you already get like you already
True.
sort of ignore
That's
this up here.
yeah, yeah.
So I painted that in later, but like essentially, and then when you put in the dark, like the image comes together.
No, I think the reason why I start with the darks is because like it just gives me an excuse to do the line art basically. Cause like,
I see.
you know, I mean, I guess you could
Yeah.
do line art with the brights, but then like
I
you're
mean, you also paint a lot less from reference than me, right? I don't know if you.
I don't think so. I do paint from reference, but I have like tried steering away from studies. But yeah, no, a lot of the stuff that I do is reference.
Okay. Okay, so now we have established our big land masses. Oh wait, that would still work a little bit. It's also part of big land masses.
I would say you should. You've made the bottom part a bit too long. You have to like cut that down, because in the reference,
Oh yeah, I see.
it's stopping right at the horizon line. Yeah. And then you might be able to make it a bit taller, like make it move up more, essentially. You can always do that kind of stuff to make it like really easy to. I mean, dude, this is exactly why I hate not drawing line art. Like I always mess up. it's
That's fine. It's okay. It's I think the accuracy on the rock is not that important.
true. Yeah.
Like you just need to have the planes.
Also, yeah, it's like also another thing is like, are you going for accuracy? You know, are you?
Yeah,
Is it
that's
it?
just
Like, are you going for accuracy? I don't know.
that is
Well, okay, my mic was lagging. Well, depends on what I'm trying to do, but I don't usually sketch before doing either,
I see.
and I don't really mind it.
Mm-hmm.
it would definitely help though. Like I would
Yeah, for sure.
recommend you to like. I actually would recommend you to do like color picking studies because that would help you personally. Like from what I've seen with you, like just like go to like one of those movie screenshot websites. Just
Oh, yeah.
like pick movie screenshots you like and just draw them and draw them. I think that would be
Useful.
a good
Okay.
good way for you to study. Okay, so I think now I have like established proper light and dark. Like if you squint your eyes, like and imagine this edge here is not soft. Has a
Well,
soft
I think
transition.
it's a little more round towards
You mean here?
the highest. Yeah. Well, kind of. The shape is just not
Like yeah,
perfect, but it's great enough. It's great enough.
That's good. Yeah, okay, so what I've been trying. Okay, so now you have like your great land masses established. Um, Now you're like sort of looking for the lakes. Lakes would be like up here probably. Here would be a lake. This would be still be somewhat part of a lake. I would say. I would say this is a lake actually. Would all of these almost?
When there's a
Yeah,
lot
this
of
would
detail
be.
going on, I wouldn't suggest like overcomplicating it either. Like for
Yeah,
example, like
definitely.
the bottom of the rock or like the grass as well. There's like a lot of stuff going on, so it's better not to like boggle yourself down. And I'm not sure how. How would you
Scroll
simplify
randomly.
that?
I mean, how I already simplified it, right? It's just you just the general shape of it and just like
Hmm.
okay, here's like a bush. Then you sort of outline that bush.
No, I mean like the bottom rock, like or the bottom half of the rock.
How you yeah that was like you can connect it like you would like see okay this is a river, this is a river that you cannot ignore, like this is like sort of this could be like a no this is like a lake you cannot ignore,
Hmm.
like you cannot just say like this up here you could say okay this is like light enough that it can blend into the light
Mm.
shapes and it wouldn't make much of a difference, but this is like very dark in a very light spot, so they cannot just like you cannot just ignore it, and so you gotta kind of put it down.
Okay.
Uh, Same up here, you cannot just ignore that.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Yeah, like it's a key detail.
Yeah, it's like, but this like this right here, you could like only say okay, no, we need this part, and then it like sort of softens out, and you can just like leave it like that.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think one thing you can do to like really spot like, hey, what's a really what's something that you can't miss is probably like just like how like contrasting it is. Like those spots, those 3 spots on the top, like those are just almost black and white in terms of like how contrasting they are. Like you can just tell them from a mile away. So you kind of want to get
Like
those
you
right.
see how big the values here jump.
Yeah.
Like also note that it never goes towards black completely. Like it's very rarely entirely black.
Yeah, yeah.
So like get out of the habit to pick just oh it's dark, just go like oh it's black. Don't do that. Never do that. Also, so yeah, establish the lakes. Like up here, here would be a lake. Like this is bright enough that I cannot really ignore it, even if I squint. Like I just put that in there
Yeah. Okay.
a little bit. Like it would still, but
Dude,
like just down here, I could sort of. Nah, I cannot.
dude, that top right shape, it looks like a backwards C. Yeah, like yeah, that thing. Man, I would make that pure black, like so bad, so bad.
Well, I like how you use your colors. Fun to watch. So
Well, that's just by habit,
I
I guess.
guess it's a way around it.
Wow, so many people on this. This hour?
I'm staying up
Yes.
Okay.
today.
For some reason, I'm now a teacher. I don't know. Yeah, so you have
That
this.
rock look like a dick, Eva.
I don't know. It's might be Freudian. I don't know.
Freudian.
Might be. You should do
The
the
rock
Freudian.
know
in
my
there.
subconscious thoughts.
Okay. Now, also like a thing is like you can experiment much more with color. Like you can make this here much bluer than the what is already.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Like you can make this. You can make this much bluer. This you can like make much saturated redder because it's like sort of floating there. So like even if you scroll out, like you don't really see that this is like very saturated red or this is very saturated blue. But like if you scroll out, it doesn't make sense. It does make sense, but like.
But you should have a purpose. Like, don't just like do it randomly. Obviously.
Yeah, like I also can see like here
Yeah,
it's like
some kind
a
of
little bit
ladder,
warm. Here's
okay.
like up here it's like pretty cold. Like it looks cold to me.
Yeah.
So I'm just making it cold.
Let me see if I can find that color relativity video. It was really nice. The way he like explained, like, dude, after watching that video, like low-key gray was my favorite color. After that, like, genuinely.
Oh yeah, like grays are very cool to like match. Like if you have a saturated and a saturated blue, like this is
Just the idea of like, hey, like maybe I have to just make this a bit warmer, make this a bit cooler, just like.
you have like
Looks pretty green
contrasting
down here, so I'm
colors,
actually gonna
and you
lose
just
even.
What's that?
what's this? Make it grayer.
This one.
And you can yeah, you have like a color that communicates with both. So you can start like could even put like a
Because
little-
it's right in the middle. Okay.
essentially, yeah. Oh yeah, this is a good. This is very good.
So like essentially like what you can see in this well you just erased that, but like when you have like the super saturated colors, usually you have like in value it's a bit brighter, but when you have your grays then there's like less. Okay, I don't know where I'm going with this, but it's just like you can work with it, dude. I don't know, just freaking trial and error, just experiment.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm not sure where I was going with
That's why
that.
I also say like do studies. It's so important to do studies.
Like in this
to
rock,
understand this
even
stuff.
in this rock, like you can, if you want, you could probably just make the left side like a super saturated color, make the right side super saturated, and then make that little middle like soft edge. You can make that whatever color you want it to. Like it's not, it doesn't really like because it's
Now you
just
have,
gray,
like,
you know.
Now that you have like the sort of ocean, the big value masses established, you can sort of say, okay, this on top of here, this is sort of cool. So you
Yeah,
can
that's
sort of
very.
so you go
Okay.
towards blue, sort of just paint it in with the same value. This it's like really important, the same value. This here is pretty red, so you can go saturated red. It's not even red,
Some
it's more
spots
orange.
are very red.
Yeah, some spots are very red. Some I would just overall go with this entire mass of orange. And this here is very blue again, but also the value gets lighter. And I would just actually yeah no I would pick a lighter blue tone so mix this in. Because you can see that there's still like a plane change from here to here, so
Mhm.
you still have to communicate that.
Well, I really like the difference in color between the two like large masses of shadow you have on the right side of the rock.
Yeah.
Like the red and well, not really red. It's more like orange, but
Yeah.
looks
If you
very
have
good.
sort of established. Also, one thing when you establish like your shadow and base light values, make sure that like you have like a journey, like the hue wanders from one side to another. Like here the
Yeah, that's
goes
the
from
video
yellow to
you see.
red.
Mhm.
And like you want there to be like sort of journey. So like if you pick anything in between, you can also shift the hue a little, and it would be cohesive between those two colors. Like if I were to make this up here, actually those sort of in between thingies up here. Those are all like planes that don't face the light, that don't face the light. You just put an in-between value of them. Same here actually. And the rock already looks a little more dimensional, I guess.
Else looks three-dimensional.
Is that a very elaborate Yumon joke?
Nice one.
No, but close.
Oh, fuck. Are you drunk?
What time is it for you, Tutori?
Oh,
It's the same for me, right? It's like 21.
21?
Alright, this guy's.
Okay.
this guy-
21. Can you do something for me?
Stupid. 21?
Nana.
Who's stupid? No, I'm not.
What's 9 plus 10, bro?
9 plus 10?
21?
Ugh.
21. Alright.
Okay, but like, yeah, and at this point you just like sort of look what the light shape is actually doing. Like, this part is lighter than this part. Why is that?
Yeah,
This
that's
faces the light more than this part, so you gotta put like the
okay.
difference in here, sort of. Then you can also see, okay, this part of this shape looks a little more reddish, so you gotta try to make it more red. The other part, this part is more saturated red. You gotta put on the saturated red. It's like I do say red, but like I'm thinking in terms of I'm saying red, but like
Mm.
I don't know, it goes horrible, but also how I would connect them. Like here you can see this is like this in between. This like feels darker, so like you sort of like look. This is where the light is. This is where the dark is. Actually, yeah, I would dark. And then you sort of like look, okay, what's the in between the light and the dark? It's this, and you have sort of like a, and then you can still see, okay, here in this area, it still is like this bright color. I'm really not good at explaining. I apologize. I thought I would be better at explaining.
See what you mean? I see.
You're so good at this, Hilo.
Thank you. Also, like with rocks, important thing, like oftentimes planes that look in the similar direction, like face the similar direction, like every plane that faces in this direction would have also the same value. So like, no, that's not the value. So every
else
other
about
plane.
rocks?
What do you say?
You know something else about rocks?
What?
They're hard.
Indeed.
This rock looks like it's hard.
How drunk are you?
Nice
Like,
insights.
I'm seriously asking.
I'm not drunk at all.
Why you make this
I'm
noise?
actually not.
Ah,
This rock just looks fucking dumb.
I'm sorry.
Demons possessed me today. I'm sorry.
Let's see. I'm painting the rock as well, so just give me a minute.
All good. Oh, but you're not streaming. I'm the only one in
No, I'm not gonna stream, or else it's gonna look like 10 times worse. Thank you.
Oh shit.
I'm built different. I'm built different.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
Fizz, I saw another stream of yours.
Oh shit. Yeah. Okay. Was it the current one? Because I saw someone like view it. I got kind of creeped out.
It has an view.
And view, yeah.
I saw one, I got 2 views actually.
Yeah, man. I'm getting views, bro. Don't
I think it was the most recent one.
play. Don't play.
It's very interesting. Like, this rock is interesting as hell. Like the way
It's
like
a-
the warm and the cool.
Weird
that
ass
place
rock,
here, like,
bro.
it's a weird ass rock. You almost need knowledge of textures to fucking paint this rock. I feel.
Yeah.
Like just
I don't know. I'm looking at this rock and all that. Like, I don't know how you do this. I think my brain is just broken. Like, I'm looking at this rock and it's like I don't know which side is facing where. Like, I just can't do it. Unless I draw boxes, I can't do that, man. I just don't know how.
Jakby to pani podoba, nie?
What?
A pójdziesz wstawić?
Pójdę.
Tak.
Tak.
oh, I thought there was a woman in VC. I was like, damn. Did Levy open her mic?
I believe you less and less.
It's just pants. He made it to Poland.
Nie wierzę.
Okay, I'm gonna go now, kids. Have fun. Bye bye.
Bye.
Also, like an underrated thing I've sort of discovered. No, not discovered. I didn't discover.
Who discovered it?
A friend told me actually. If you like the hardness of an edge is also sort of determined by the value of it, like the neighboring value. Like this seems very hard because the neighboring value.
Yeah.
Jump.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But if you want to have a softer with the same edge, I would actually go lower. Like this feels softer. And what you can do with that is like, let's say we have a dark blue thing. There's like a roundish object that is hit by a lot of light here. And sort of gradually you have like normal soft transition here, like with the same shade. And then when you go into the shadows, where it like gets closer to the you can actually make the value transition feel as smooth just with a hard edge. Like it feels like this is transitioning the same as this, though it's been painted the completely different way. And it's just because of the sort of how dark this is and how bright.
Oh
it makes
yeah,
it.
okay, I see. Okay.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it's probably a little advanced when it comes to values. But yeah, that's an interesting thing. You can like make an interesting contrast. Like this. Also, by the way, this sort of like lake, you can like paint very orange saturated
Mm-hmm.
because it's like being hit by a lot of light, so there's like a lot of light bouncing around in that hole and coming out of the hole.
Yeah. I really love these saturated spots. They really make the
And also,
the
like
whole
if you
thing
want to
pop.
connect it, like if you want to connect them a little bit better, you can just go like, what's this? What is this? What's the journey between those? It's like, bam, sort of. And you just go over it.
Mm.
Also, I recommend like just watching every single Chinese painter who has a YouTube account. Just, like
Okay.
I highly recommend that as well.
I mean, if not, if it doesn't give you any like advice, at least it can give you some motivation. I found that helps a lot. I think the biggest like help for me in terms of like getting me to draw has been just getting inspired by looking at cool art. Like, to be completely honest, sometimes when you're inspired, you just draw better. I don't know how to explain it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like I'm not very inspired. Sometimes I'm just like.
Yeah, not always, but
I
sometimes.
You just do it. Yeah.
I know. No, it's
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Not even. I know I have like a certain deficit in a certain area, and just sort of like. I know I just gotta
Yeah, true.
find it information that makes me better at that
Mm.
certain area. But yeah, there's like you can see here, like this area is it's like weirdly desaturated, greenish, yellowish. This whole area, and you kind of want to also get those red tones in this area. So like you take this more yellowish thing, and just move it towards the red, saturate it a little bit more. Then you have like a sort of
In that bottom side of the
Now-
rock. Yeah. Sorry, go on.
and now if you want to like sort of paint in this transition right here, like from here to here, like this, just basically go, okay, what's this, what is this, just go in between those, and then just like and it communicates that rounding effect that it is wrong. Not wrong, but like it communicates like another plane.
Mm.
That's how you can essentially
Yeah.
make infinite planes
Exactly.
out of like just those two values, because like you're basically sculpting the rock.
Yep.
If that makes sense. I don't know.
Okay.
No, I was gonna say
It's
something
also, like-
similar, where it's like for the bottom side of the rock, you know how there's like loads of like crevices, kind of. So what you can really do to like give the illusion of a crevice is just like the simple idea of just drawing a dark line and then right next to that a light line. So it's like you can tell it goes in and then out. So that's a very easy way of just getting that feeling of like kind of like, you know, bumpiness, I guess.
Yeah. Also, like here, like you can see the rock here gets darker. Like
Yeah.
it goes darker. Then I established my base value. That's
Yeah.
fine. Like your base value doesn't have to be the darkest value in the piece. It just has to be like something that represents all the shadow value.
That's a
all the dark
choice.
values.
Doesn't always have to be like that, but yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's a choice. I would say I would move it towards blue because it's like facing a blue.
Yep.
Blue sky. And I would make it significantly darker. Like this is a good amount darker, I think. Then you just put that in there as well. And then
Oh god, and it feels so good when you do it.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
and also make sure to like conserve like those kind of edges here. Like I conserved like sort of this, so this roundness effect is being upheld basically.
Man, your paintings look so soft compared to mine. It's because of the brush they use, I think.
I always like to use like I studied a lot with only soft brush. Only soft brush studies is also like something very interesting you can do with edges.
I don't know, man. I could never use soft. I really dislike soft brushes. I don't know. Just
You might like it. Like you just pick a dark background color
yeah.
and then you just like say we paint a
Wait, so you're painting with basically an airbrush?
just airbrush, yeah.
Dang, bro. Dang. God dang.
And essentially an airbrush on like that also ties in with the thing I said about values.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can get
like-
the difference in values really nicely. Yeah.
Yeah, and also like the difference in edges, like
Yeah.
the soft
The gradient.
Make it the softer
Yeah.
the edges.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you make it smaller, it's gonna be like this. You can make it even smaller, and then it's gonna be even harder.
Yeah.
What's here?
I remember drawing something like that. Wait 1 second. Let me see if I can find it.
So and then you just like block in your subject, like in this case just a ball. Also choosing of base colors is very important. Like, and there's so much stuff I skip always. There's so much stuff to look out for. But in the tutorial actually I sent you
Two, yeah.
he has like a list of priorities that you should look out for when picking a color for a thing. And wait, let me find it. It's a very good video. Like I'm not lying. Like this is the main video I looked at for color.
He's lying, dude. Don't trust him.
I'm not lying. Yeah, it's
Is-
like material intensity, distance, and then the color.
I don't know.
No, wait, that's for the light source. Never mind. I think that's.
See, I told you he was lying.
No, I'm not lying.
Damn, I can't find it. There was one. I was doing a drawing
Okay.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, go on. Sorry.
No.
Might be
I was just going to say very irrelevant stuff. Accent is very bad today.
That's okay. But yeah, if you like paint soft brush only, you get like a very good feel for edges.
I don't know, man. I just
Because you
can't
only
do
have
it.
the softest brush, so
Yeah.
you gotta.
you gotta
go
work
small.
way harder. Yeah. And the worst part for me is like there's like no texture. It's just like you make the texture. Ugh. Like I don't know.
You can still put the texture in After Effects for yourself.
Yeah, but I one thing I found myself really enjoying is like just having the texture come initially and then like making ideas based off of that texture. It's like how like you know how like when Plavium just draws like from imagination, or paints rather, like he just like puts like random shapes on the screen and then from there he might have an idea to paint. So it's like that's why I like using texture brushes a lot because it can sometimes just give me an idea from just like the random shapes that it makes.
That's like where I personally just sort of have the problem with imagination. It's just it,
You can't see it, yeah.
I'm probably just very blind when it comes to imagination. Yeah. I'm very bad at imagining stuff. Nothing. Or even from like base.
I'm sure that's a skill that you can work on the same way you're working on using the airbrush. So maybe try it one time at one point.
I don't know. It just never clicked for me. That's like you can even with like soft brush, you can like get a very hard edge.
Yep.
Because like edges are also like relative to what edges are next.
That's the thing that I hate. It's like you can only get a hard edge if you make your brush really small. I really dislike that. I really dislike
Yeah,
that.
no, like I'm trying out an brush right now, and it's very blurry.
Yeah.
Feels like I've taken off my glasses.
That's a funny comparison. Alright, let me finish this painting. Because it's actually going kind of okay. Surprisingly. No, this is gonna be really funny to see because you use a soft brush and I use a hard brush, so it's really nice to see how
mean,
it's gonna differ.
Textures are also like sort of like that's also like a cool thing about textures. It's like it also like goes into like that sort of like how much hardness is in that texture, like because like edges are also just like a spectrum, like from the hardest to the
Yes.
softest.
Yeah.
Like and everything in between, and texture brushes, as for me at least, everything in between, like, and that's like a cool thing, I guess. I don't know where I was going.
It's alright. It's alright.
But yeah, always sort of like as soon as you like sort of want to touch the edge, a good measure, like a good way to see if you should pick a new color for the for whatever you're painting. No, wait. Let me Ah, man. Just mad. I'm shaking.
Well, my shapes are not accurate at all, but it's alright.
Oh, but yeah, the studies you should be making. Like you should just go on like filmgrabs.com and just like, oh my god,
Oh
it's
yeah, I was
Leonardo,
literally
Leonardo.
checking out this website a few seconds ago.
I'm just like, oh my god, we're gonna color study this. So like, I'm just gonna duplicate this, and then you just start, sort of like, okay, what is like the overall thing here? It's like, it's a very warm. It's a very warm
Mostly
image.
Gray?
Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
but like it's very warm.
Great.
Like these colors are very warm, without
Okay.
picking any. So
Oh,
like
hold
what
on,
you want
I'm
is
trying.
like
I'm
establishing
gonna try to follow it.
this. What you're gonna try is like, okay, this is gonna be a warm painting. So that's what you already established. Although this is way too saturated for what is in the image. It's a dark warm, so you should probably like this. The skin is so dim. So now with the background, you sort of want to go towards the cool and then desaturate it. You already see how this like, does it read the same? I don't know. I'm gonna wait and see.
Not really the same.
Not yet. Okay. That's
Not yet,
You
sure.
you can work on it. Here you can see it's like sort of less. It's a little brighter and less saturated. This also, I think, should have worked towards green, probably not towards blue.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was
like the
trying to pick
clouds.
some greenish thing.
Like for the grayish things. You can also see like here, it sort of saturates. Look at how it saturates here. But the saturation is not in the greens, it's like in the yellows. That's very interesting. Okay, it goes to
Where's geeking?
yeah. It will look like green. That's interesting. But yeah, you should not pick the colors, by the way. And you should try to achieve like a image likeness. Like you don't have to worry about like proportions or anything. It's like okay, now yeah, you shouldn't worry about proportions or anything. Don't make a drawing. Just go with the general shapes. Same with the ears. Just
Mhm.
saturate it probably. It's like this. You have actually the most saturated part. It's this bright orange in the background, like this. I think it's better. The edge is more noticeable. Okay, then you can also like start worrying about like the foreground objects, which are gonna be sort of in the reddish proportions. So like here's gonna be like a thing. It's kind of. You can also use this as like a sort of quick compositional study. But yeah. Also, like I wouldn't
Yeah,
worry
okay.
about like their skin right now, but just blocking in their silhouettes with like the dark completely first, and then you just like base like what the saturation is based on what the darks around them do. If that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Like this is all you basically need. And then you just go, okay, go more saturated, like this. It's darker. Okay, this is way too reddish. Go back to orange, make it a little brighter. And yeah, I already have what I need.
Well, I still haven't figured it out in which color to pick for the sky.
For the cap here. Cap here.
I would just pick what
Also useful trick for
desaturated
lasers
green. So
to treat them as spheres. So you just like this is the light part, and you can see here, it's more orange. It's more yellowish orange. Let's, now I overdid it a little too much. Overshooting is better than undershooting, I think, but it's a taste preference probably. And the darks sort of go in the greenish. Oh, her fucking scarf. Oh my god. Forgot about her scarf. Her scarf has like a lighter base value. I think as light as the skin, but like different color probably. So blocking it in, I would just like use like a, just like for skin, just like a. What the fuck is happening here? Why is it green? Probably reflecting something? It's like it turns away from the light. Is it just base color green? It's base color greenish? Has somebody watched the movie? Confirm.
I'm not sure. Been a while since I did.
honestly, dude, that rock is really nice painting. I mean, like, really nice reference, to be honest.
It is. Honestly, everything you can get off Pinterest is so fucking nice reference.
Not everything. I've had bad experiences.
Dude got burned by Pinterest. The hair here is like base saturated red for some reason. Probably because it's like brownish and catches a lot of orange light. So the light part of the hair just turns to to like a bright red. That's a very interesting. Is that bright red? Yeah, it's a pretty. Oh damn! It's like actually 100% saturated. What the fuck? I really see 100% saturation. It's interesting.
See, this is why you use saturated colors. Don't listen to Ivo. Use saturated colors.
But I said don't use extreme colors. Like don't. And I think you can see that philosophy in our paintings. Like I never use very, like even if
Yeah.
it's very saturated.
Okay, I will say though,
I tend to not.
because you use saturated colors, because you don't use saturated colors, I will say your paintings have a vibe to them. Like they aren't. They're a bit
Yeah,
they're a bit unique in that sense. I wouldn't say.
but so does
Hmm?
yours. to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah. So
Using saturated colors also
It's
makes it unique.
just a difference in approach.
yeah. Okay, I think I'm done with this painting. I'll just add some stuff. Color jitter is useful for adding texture. That's another thing. If you're too lazy like me.
I hope you got something out of it.
No response, bro. He's done.
We'll never explain it. It's so inequality? No wait, how do you say that?
Inequalent. That's crazy.
It's not inequality, wait.
Inadequate?
Inadequate.
Adequate. Thank
Wow,
you.
wow. I wasn't even thinking of that. God bless. Wow. God bless.
Oh no, this is wrong. What is this? Oh, this t-shirt is also almost orange. What the fuck? Look how much it is. Ugh. What am I doing? Do that also.
Also, another thing, when you're picking, when you're trying to get a brighter value, you can also just pick. Okay, this is easier if I share my screen. 1 second. Can I share my screen? Yeah, I think I can. Can you see it?
Yeah, see?
Is it too?
Yeah, hold on. I was just saying something. Ghost.
You can see?
It's loading. Okay.
So
Damn.
yeah, so what I wanted to talk about was like just specifically like this spot right here. Like this, you can see my cursor, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
So you can see how like it gets kind of like, I mean, okay, maybe it's not as apparent, but it's like it gets kind of darker to a bit brighter. Like there's a little bit of like a brighter right underneath that bush. Like there's like this kind of line of bright
Yeah,
color.
Yeah, yeah.
So what I just wanted to say was like this is the base color that I already picked for the ground. So what you
Yeah.
could do is rather than just increasing the value, you can also shift it towards yellow, because yellow is generally
Always shift the hue.
Yeah.
If you shift value, always shift hue as well. because
Exactly.
it communicates better.
and it doesn't look
Oh, yeah,
muddy.
yeah,
It doesn't look
that's-
muddy. That's the most important
okay.
part. Because okay, you could be asking, okay, why am I shifting it towards yellow and not green? And this is generally because yellow is obviously brighter than green. That's just the main reason. You want to be shifting it towards the brighter color. I mean, in this case, for example, if I wanted to, let's say I'm talking about this bush. There's the darker parts of these bushes, like right over here. And so if I wanted to indicate a darker color for the bush, I could just take the base color, shift it towards maybe, because it gets brighter here. So I would go more centered towards the green, and then, or I could go all the way dark to the complementary color, and then take something that's kind of in the gray, and then like in the dark gray, so it kind of like looks right-ish. You know what I mean? I don't know if that, I know I just brought up complementary colors just like totally randomly, but that's another thing you can try experimenting with, where it's like, if you want, like let's say, like it's hard to get a dark green over here because on the left and the right it's both brighter colors. So what you do is you just go to the opposite complementary color and try to get a darker color from there. And most of the time especially for greens, what you'll see in trees and bushes, the shade, the dark, is going to be purplish because it's not going to be like dark green. Like the dark green is kind of like iffy.
Yeah.
I don't know, but you're usually gonna get like a purplish color. So yeah, it's something you could also experiment with if you're just trying to get like a darker color in. But yeah, this is the painting. That's it. I'm done.
Very nice.
It's really good. Nice texture.
Also, like, if you look at my stream right now, like, this is as much as you have to do for those, like, sort of color study. Like, this is, like, you can, like, look for edges more, like, here you can, like, he's like a soft transition between those two shapes, so, like, I want to have this more soft. So it goes like this, like this.
Alright.
Wait, like this. Go darker. Wait, oh my god. Go towards the green. Just sort of work that in between. So like, I should just use a soft brush. Why am I? I don't know if that makes sense. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well,
for
it
teaching
does.
another-
Why are you sorry, dude? Why are you sorry?
I know I can explain it better if I prepare more. Also,
Sure.
something interesting you can do here too is like work in like a saturated blue into the dark, like a dark saturated blue.
Well,
Like you can.
would the dark saturated green work?
I mean, so this is like, yeah, it would. It would in the belt here work. Like you can see it.
Oh
like,
yeah, it's blue. Okay.
But here on the
Yeah,
collar,
I didn't
it's
see it was
clear.
this blue. Okay.
It's like there's like a lot of. It's just training your eye to see those kind of differences. It's kind of important. Differences is actually like a good way to sort of. I don't know how to. You know what I mean? It's like how much difference is like between this and this shape, and it's like just
Sorry.
sort of try to close the distance between those two differences. So
Sorry. I wasn't paying attention.
Yes.
Could you start again? I wasn't paying attention.
Ugh.
No. Just the first sentence you just said.
Like differences is like a very important like
Mhm,
metric. Like
mhm.
if you see like a thing is different from another thing,
Mhm.
but like they feel like one, you just gotta sort of like and like you have like differences in value, you have differences in hue, you have differences in saturation, you have differences in edges, you have differences in texture. So you just sort of try to find the aspects of that sort of thing that makes it different and sort of make it close.
Yeah.
close
See, because the thing is, you
so
can't
like-
pay attention to all of those things at once, right? So you kind of like sometimes have to just merge a lot of those things together.
Yeah.
Like for example, in the
Yeah.
bottom half of that rock, at the start, you just have to kind of merge all those textures together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But those
yeah.
differences in value, no, absolutely, you can't merge those together because those are super important. Over here, like that entire like
Yeah.
bottom left.
Not really showing on your stream though.
I'm not showing anything. I'm just watching his stream.
Okay.
But yeah, like that whole like black spot of clothing. No, not yeah. It's like it's just black. Like there's no texture. So I'm pretty sure that.
Entirely true.
I mean, dude,
There's-
from like a few, like if you just zoom out, like you can't tell anything. It's just black or
Yeah.
whatever. So that's the point. Like I would imagine that's the point, to like lead your eyes towards the main attraction or the focal point, which is the faces, right? So they're
Yeah.
just merging.
Well, that
Yeah, go on.
actually reminds me of the Takopi illustration I sent in Packpad that Evo brought out. Yeah, it's really interesting in this case because
Yeah.
there's a lot of saturated white thing. Like it's
Yeah,
just-
they're using
It's
white
just
here
white.
really
yeah,
well.
there's a thing
This is just
for
white. This is
there's a
like-
thing to add and
Like my only
it's
gripe
just
with this
white
one.
or is there
It
some
looks to me
kind
it's
of
just
effect?
white. So yeah, it's just white. Like there's like at the edges you have like some saturated light
Mm.
yellows, and here like everything here is like very saturated as a consequence of like it. But like this is very desaturated. That's why it stands out. Like a lot of the subject here is very desaturated.
Exactly. Yeah. True.
That's why like
so
all of this
okay,
is
so it's really a
saturated.
matter of difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Still
Yeah.
a matter of difference.
It's a matter. Like
Because like you can also
like, pick out which differences matter and like
yeah.
sort of okay, this different like this difference here saturation and like having everything around it having be highly saturated and the subject itself be desaturated is very important. So I'm gonna keep that difference. But like theoretically speaking, this difference and this difference is not the most important.
Yeah.
So if you're just gonna study it, you can just theoretically put it away.
Yeah.
Because it's like
Mm.
so the only difference there is like in hue saturation. Yeah,
Same thing for the vending machine, I would say. Like a lot of those details, just loads of different stuff. I'm pretty sure that's just a literal
it's
photo.
bad.
Yeah, exactly. So, like you know, you can
Look
just
at the shit. This is like just a photo with like a few whoop whoop.
yeah, exactly.
Like
So
you just made this brush really small and just like whoop whoop.
yeah,
It
and it
just
works. Like it works really
Oh.
well. You know,
works very well because it's like
and also in terms of like
Oh, I didn't notice that.
yeah, photo bashing is really helpful for like you know really minute details that your eyes will like literally just gloss over. You don't want to.
but also like if you photo bash something, keep in mind that you're gonna make it like the if I let's say wait let me
Was I talking to you about photo bashing earlier, Eva, or was that someone else?
maybe probably if it was earlier probably someone else. So it was not here.
No, I mean not today. I mean like a while ago. I don't remember.
And there might be I'm a huge photo bash enthusiast.
Yeah, I remember talking about that.
If you're gonna photo bash something, like keep the value of the scene you have already established in mind.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah.
Like this Takubi painting. It took whatever image he was and like and only sort of kept the texture of the image. The rest he just edited to be sort of the value, same saturation he wanted in this booth to be.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like I think the vending like the whole vending machine side is really cool because it's like a lot of detail
The
and
whole
then
vending machine is like
yeah,
photo bashed. Everything here is photo bashed.
exactly. And then it's like and that might like draw more attention to the focal point because it's like that's like
Yeah.
very undetailed compared to that whole right side which is like super detailed. So that's another
This is like the perfect medium amount of detail. Like he's a lot of detail.
Yeah.
He's almost no detail.
Yeah.
He's like the medium amount.
oh
of
yeah,
detail.
dude, that's
Like,
a
oh, here you have
Mm.
hair textures. You have like the wrinkles in this bag.
Yeah.
It's like sort of scrunched together. You have like sort of like
damn
this is a
dude.
very interesting shape.
Yeah, they really cooked with those legs. Holy shit, that's nice. Like, look at all those different shades. Yeah, that's impressive.
I'm a bit exhausted. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
We've been
fair
talking.
enough.
We've been talking for a long
Really
time.
understandable.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for hearing me out. If you have any more questions, please ask.
Thank you.
Please ask me.
Too.
I always love to answer questions.
All right, you gotta send the rock and
Now I have to.
yeah,
I mean, that's not fair. It's not fair.
send the rock. Send the rock.
I'm gonna send it. It's fine. It's okay. I'm gonna send it.
Send
Send
the rock as well. Did
send,
you?
send the rock.
Yeah. First. Yeah, you were complaining about it. Now I'm already
Uh-huh.
I already sent the rock. The rock.
The rock.
Oh,
Alright.
Okay, I'm a head off.
Yeah, same.
Thank you for hearing me out, hearing my rambles out. I guess.
Well, thank you. Mostly thank you because like I learned a lot.
No problem. And always said we should. I think if you send me more specific problems, I can like this is a very broad problem you're having, like not being able to like sort of shift colors around. If you have more specific problems, I think I'd be able to help you. Or even if you have like a
Yeah,
piece where you're like I cannot really figure out why it's wrong, like just send it to me. I'm sure I can figure something better out or like a better answer. I guess. All right.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Thank you for
Bye bye.
I would say like the last thing I said.
That was nice.
Yeah, the last thing I'll say about like getting the right colors, it's like most of the time you're gonna see a lot of people. They're gonna be like, I never studied color theory, and like their colors are just on point. And a lot of it just comes down to just a lot of like how Iva was saying, just a lot of like trial and error, just like understanding. Hey, if I put this color next to this color, like it looks right. And I mean, you're already doing that, which is great. And I mean, you're already seeing like pretty good signs of improvement. So that should already be like enough to understand that, like, you know, how just basic rules of color works.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Stuff like experimenting with complementary
you.
colors and stuff like that. Just keep on cooking.
Yeah, I should do more of that.
Yeah.
Because I usually do one color stuff, like just one major color, and then when I try to do something that's not made of one major color, it's kind of getting messy.
I mean, still, like
It's
some of these are really good.
Well, actually,
Like I'm looking at this one because I actually didn't see this one before. This one's great, dude. This one looks really nice. I like how like the side of the chest, how like you kind of put in like the
yeah, I really like that part.
Yeah. It's really nice, yeah.
It actually reminded me of the way Fujimoto
Does like ribs or whatever.
did his really looks like that.
Yeah, so
Right, well, it's time for me to practice now.
it's not practice, it's just drawing. Don't call it practice. I would never call it practice. Anyways, I'll see you. Oi.
I somehow see what's beautiful and things that are ephemeral. I'm my only friend of mine. Love is just a piece of time in the world. In the world.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: إن لله 100 رحمة أنزل منها رحمة.
Still streaming. God damn. Shit. Oh well. Didn't get much work done today. That's alright. That's alright. Let's mark some stuff right before we go. Let's do this. Let's do this and this. Let's see what we got wrong. So we'll use this because obviously. Okay, so H plus ions. Okay, so like essentially like sources. So like sources of H plus ions. So over here I only mentioned ETC's source, which is the pumps. Over here they're mentioning from reduced NAD, H plus ions from reduced NAD, because when we do NADH, we get an electron and H plus. So we're having H plus ions from there. H plus ions pumped into the inner membrane space. So H plus ions pumped into the inner membranal space refer to the energy needed for pump. Refer to the movement of electrons along ETC. The ETC electrons are transferred to different membrane proteins. So yeah, there's one, there's two. Reference to on inner membrane cristae, ETC on inner membrane cristae. I didn't really say this. I should always say in inner membrane. Okay, this is something that should always be there right after I mention ETC. So in membrane, ETC in inner membrane. Like this should just be the next thing. Energy needed for pump. How would I say this though? Like using redox reactions, maybe? I don't know exactly. Okay, next question. Maybe this is not necessary, this section, but I don't know, we'll see afterwards. Rapid uptake of oxygen in order to repay oxygen debt required to respire the pyruvate which was made from the lactic acid. So lactic acid can be converted into pyruvate. Increases oxygen requirement, reference to oxygen debt. So to repay oxygen debt, pyruvate which was made from lactic acid. Better to say lactate is converted. Also it says lactate, not lactic acid, so I'm not sure here. Idea of the most potential for oxidation can make the most reduced coenzyme. What does that mean? Because if we make pyruvate, we make the most NADH, so we can reduce the most oxygen? I don't know. Oh wait, is it because like, if we take in more oxygen, then we can have more ETC, right? Perhaps. Not sure what this means, so we'll just highlight it for now. Okay. Next question says, use the diagram. What is your carrier of B? So, direction of electron movement required, except one. Electron picked up from A or passed on to carrier C. Accepts the hydrogen electron from A. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Reference to oxidation and reduction. So, getting reduced. So that's another idea that, okay, idea of releasing energy to, okay, it's another, that this is used to pump the H plus ions, yeah, I was spot on. To pump the H plus ions from the matrix into the space, I promise you I wasn't looking at the marking scheme for this. Okay, this was kind of beautiful. Structure X is ATP synthase, so ATP synthase, and reference to H plus flows through structure X. Slash chemiosmosis. Flows through via chemiosmosis. Allow ADP to PI to join. Phosphorylation of ADP. This is a 3 marker. Okay. Down electrochemical gradient. Energy is released to allow. Okay. Okay, so I'm kind of getting this idea wrong here. I shouldn't be saying using the mechanical movement of the diffusion of H plus ions. I should be saying H plus ions flow through ATP synthase, right? Down the electrochemical gradient, releasing sufficient energy for ADP phosphorylation. Alright, I gotta go for prayer. So I'm just gonna do this. Let's see if I'll be back and I'll study.